Getting bored of living here on Earth? Don't worry, you're not alone. Because scientists are trying to see if it is possible for the human race to live on Mars. Steve Squire, a researcher at NASA's chairman of Space Center and Advisory Committee, is trying to see if he was the main investigator of MER, Mars Exploration Rover, a great stepping stone for scientists to get a closer look at the red planet. In PBS.org, November 2008, Squire had a heartfelt moment when he finally saw his MER go off into Mars. Based on Smithsonian.com, November of 2008, David McKay, the head researcher of Johnson Space Center in Houston, found a rock that would change the history of Mars. The rock had proven that there had been life on Mars 4.5 billion years ago. Of course now, Mars is just a dry desert-like planet with only rocks and sand counting as its population. Although Mars still holds many wonders to scientists today. They keep discovering new things about this lifeless planet. And as crazy as these scientists are, they're still attempting to see if the human race can live on Mars. Today I will tell you about the crazy project called High Seas, if life can still be sustained on Mars, what food is necessary for the trip, and of course, the side effects of living on another planet. Cornell University is funding for the project High Seas, which will train their students to live on Mars by secluding them in Hawaii near a volcano where no plant life can grow. The perfect way of feeling on a dry, secluded, lifeless planet. First of all, who the heck wants to live on Mars? They have dust storms that can cover the entire planet for months. How exciting. The main question, though, is still whether life can still be on Mars. Christopher Ooze stated in Yahoo News article.com, saying that it is very simple to measure life on Mars. All you have to do is measure the hydrogen and methane levels. NASA helped him and his researchers with this project and has come up with the conclusion. He said that from his experiment, Mars seems to have low ratios of hydrogen and methane, which can prove whether Mars still has life on it or it did have life on it. Another scientist named Scott Milroy, based on HadesburgAmerican.com, July 2012, said that he also wanted to prove life can still grow on Mars. He was to plant a blue-green algae on Mars to see if it will grow. He stated, if this plant will grow, it will give exobiologists, biologists who study extraterrestrial life, a little more hope into pursuing their search to see if life still exists on Mars. Since there's no proof yet that Mars can grow plant life, the scientists will need to see what other food they can take to Mars. Based on popsci.com, June 2012, the High Seas project has already stock food ready for space, such containing as freeze-dried chicken, butter, and of course vegetables, and dehydrated algae. Yuck. Anyways, they have Gene Hunter to help out their research to make sure that the students have a well-balanced diet, make sure they know how to cook up in Mars, and of course, they need to have an energy-efficient kitchen. From Gene Hunter's explanation, she says one thing what is a big no-no to take to Mars. You may want to take notes just in case you want to plan a trip to Mars. She's saying deep-fried food is not compatible for Mars. Seems like she's making Mars an excuse for us to eat healthier. As tragic as that is, deep-fried food cannot go on Mars because if there was an oil spill, it would contaminate the crew's quarters because of the different atmospheric pressure. No one wants to breathe oil in their air. Even though we have polluted air here on Earth, it's not the same. Hunter and her researchers seem like they figured everything out about the research, but they failed to mention about the living conditions on Mars. You remember WALL-E and how, by and large, had the big Earth cruise ships take them away from Earth, and then they got really, really fat? Yeah, that's going to happen to us. Based on microgravity in the human body, Webby.com, 2012, stated that astronauts had different ways of microgravity on their body. Some experienced puffy faces, others lost muscle in their legs, some had their heart shrunk, others had loss of balance. And are you willing to lose your sense of taste and smell just to go live on Mars? I as heck wouldn't. I want to taste my delicious food, thank you very much. And of course, the microgravity, it does not help out with the human body because of the loss of balance and changes. Cornell Squire's research on the human body has helped many people Squire had many research on the MERS to help the students learn a better life of Mars. Since Cornell University is taking his step a little bit further, they're helping him out by seeing that living on Earth can help more ways for the human race to survive. If you ever want to lose weight really fast, you might as well go to Mars. You might lose muscle along the way, but it's a little more, if you're that desperate, go for it. If you ever want to get away from the city life and not deal with the countryside and the smell of manure everywhere, go to Mars. Chances are you'll survive better up there than the cows will. So think about the many opportunities Mars has to offer, and of course, think about the downsides to it, because maybe one day in the future, your children will live in Mars.